Good morning, everyone. I'm letting everybody into the room. We'll get started here in about a minute or so. If anybody has any questions, think about what those might be. Can you guys hear me okay? You guys hear me okay? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, good. So,
I hear you,
yeah.
Eric.
Okay, thanks, Ed. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started today. Any wins since this time last week? Anybody have any good stuff to talk about as far as agent attraction? This is the agent attraction mastermind call. And Jeff and Larry said they're going to be jumping in. They're all together down in Texas this weekend. So, but any wins? I know, Ed, you had somebody you spoke with over the past week.
Actually, Elizabeth is actually on the call. If you can see her there on the screen.
Oh, this is Elizabeth. Oh, hi, Elizabeth. And she's in Ohio.
She is originally from New Jersey, but she's in Florida with me now.
Oh, nice. Okay, down in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got to make it down that way. I've never been to Fort Lauderdale. Headed to um, Orlando in 2 weeks. Well, 8 days. So if you guys want to come up and go to the parks with us, we'll be at Disney.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, today, we focus today on things that agents can do to talk to other agents about what we do. It just gives them a little bit of a segue into making life easier as far as talking about our brokerage and what our brokerage does different. And especially our group, our group is an amazing group with amazing talent. Right now, we're pushing, we're over 100 agents in the group. Um, we call the group the Control Bengal Group. It's Darren Control, myself run it, but they're also part of Izinga. We're also part of Pathways Group, the Alliance Group. Larry White, Jeff Russell. They help a lot with different things that we do along the not only the agent attraction line, but also just the production line, because our group is all about production. We're trying, our goal this year is 200 million in production. We did 50 million the first quarter. So we're right on track to be where we want to be production wise. And one of the nice things about our group also is that we have asset management groups that are part of that allow our agents to be preferred in their networks, like American Destiny, MCM Capital Group. Peak Harbor is a new company that they don't have a preferred portion, but they are using our agents a lot. So, but again, any other wins you guys had for the week? All right. Is there anything you guys want to talk about in particular on this agent attraction call today? Anything that we want to? I sent it in the Sunday's newsletter. I had a whole section on a marketing plan that you can follow. That's pretty robust. I mean, it's there might be some holes in it, but it's the plan I followed for 2 years with attraction. I think it's a good plan. It involves getting together email lists, getting together scripts, talking to, and most importantly, talking to people. None of this works without picking up the phone and making phone calls or having Zoom meetings. Ed Kowalski's been hosting Zoom meetings over the past couple weeks, and he's been averaging about 10 people per Zoom, which is pretty good. And these are people that he's spoken to in the past. Ed's used to be part of NRBA, which is a nationwide REO company. Elizabeth, are you an REO agent? Do you do REO assets or?
Not yet. I just moved from New Jersey to Florida. I am
Okay,
an EXP agent, have been for a few years.
okay.
So I'm here, just wanted to hear more about the team and more about the group. So I'm all ears.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just I wasn't sure because the one thing about our group, and that's something that's part of the newsletter portion of it, is the fact that we work with REO companies, and we have the REO Alliance group that we formed, and it just makes the conversations, well, it makes the conversations different. I wouldn't say better. It's just different conversations. Not everybody necessarily has to be doing REO type real estate to be in our group. About 80% of the agents are, 20% are not. And the agents who are not are still doing well. They're still getting, I see them on Facebook with their new listings and their closes, and I understand that they have a robust business. That's the whole point of all this, is making sure that as an agent, you can be as busy as possible, securing new business, working your sphere, taking advantage of the tools that we have, the KV Core, the utilizing SkySlope, utilizing our transactional coordinator. So I guess the first part of agent attraction really is just knowing our tools to the nth level, to the nth degree, knowing them to the point where you can talk about them easily with another person. You don't have to know all of them, but you should know most of them. You should know a few of them. You should know about KV Core, what KV Core can do, how you can set up squeeze pages with KV Core, how you can set up campaigns with your sphere, so that people are being emailed on a regular basis. Text messages can be sent. You can do your calls right from KV Core. So if you want to set up reminders, you just go into KV Core, hit make call, it'll automatically dial the number, and you can just go through and leave messages. If you get their voicemail, you can just hit a button. Basically, it'll send a voicemail, so you don't have to keep repeating your voicemails over and over again. When you do get somebody on the line, you have the conversation. But sometimes we get a lot of messages when we make phone calls. So this it just speeds things up a little bit. So instead of being able to make 10 or 15 calls an hour, you can maybe make 20 or 30 calls an hour by not having to repeat your voicemail message over and over and over again. So take a look at that, guys, in the newsletter. I think this, and it was recycled from before. I didn't redo the article. It was something that we had done way back in I think October. So we just recycled that particular article in the newsletter. But this is for you guys. What do you guys have? What do you guys want to review or go over from an attraction standpoint today?
I just want to know more about your team, REOs, everything that you guys do, and what's your niche system. I know all of the tools that we have with EXP as far as KV Core and the SkySlope and all of that, but I don't know anything yet about REO. I have worked with REOs before, but not many times. So I'm familiar with how it works, but that's not, I'm not certified, which I love to do, but I want to hear more.
Okay, well, you've teamed up with, Ed's a great agent who's done a lot of REO work in the past. The first thing we always recommend for somebody new into the default space is to find another agent that can help navigate them around the pitfalls. I mean, there are some things that are unique about working in the default space. Most notably is you're working with asset managers instead of homeowners or buyers, sellers, and you'll still work with buyers, sellers, but you have to know how to navigate the portals. You have to know how a listing agent needs the property, how a property needs to be set up as far as an offer being made. Because it's not as simple as just sending an offer in via email. You have to go into certain portals and utilize those systems. So it's a different type of real estate agent, but really just from the standpoint of training, you've just learned to work with asset managers, know what the different portals are. You're going to want to be set up on Accelerus, Equator, Pyramid, Bid on Homes, ResNet. And there might be some others as well that you want to be setting yourself up with. The next part of it is REO isn't just selling assets. It's also doing all the things that an asset manager needs, such as BPOs, such as cash for keys, evictions, trash outs, calling the sheriff, getting squatters off the property, securing the property whenever you are being assigned the listing, so that squatters or trespassers cannot occupy the property and it can be set up for showings, making sure the grass is cut. I mean, there's just a whole host of things that we do in the REO space that is so much different than the traditional space, that you can ramp things up very quickly and get there fast. But without a mentor, without somebody that's guiding you along the way, it's a bit more difficult. And then we have national organizations you can belong to that will guide you. NRBA, US REO Partners, US REO Rockstars, Club Wealth, REO, no, the REO Network, Five Star Force. Five Star is a conference that's held once a year in Dallas. That's pretty much the gold standard for REO agents. Force is the company that runs the conference. When I say we're talking thousands of agents, thousands, hundreds of asset managers, dozens, if not hundreds of vendors that come to these conferences that get in communication with agents so that they are able to have a forum which they can basically meet up with each other again, converse, have conversations, get to know each other a little bit better. But that's the REO space in a nutshell. And what our group does as a group with an EXP is we started working with several different asset management companies because we are an asset management company. American Destiny, who I have been working with since 2017, we do thousands of assignments per year, both BPO, opportunities like cash for keys, asset referrals for dispositions for different companies. So we've been doing this for, my God, 15 years now. And, 3 of those years now as having a portion of our brokerage with EXP that is allowing us to work with American Destiny, MCM Capital, and a couple other asset management companies, allowing our agents to be preferred in those networks. So that was a pretty broad overview in like 3 minutes of what we do. So I see Jeff Russell jumped on. Thanks, Jeff, for coming in today. Are you taking Larry's place? I take it.
Yeah, he's actually in a meeting with somebody here, physically here right now, so.
Oh, okay, cool. And we just have a few agents on today. Ed Aquino, he's out of our Fort Lauderdale area. You might know Angela Filkins. She has 2 offices, one in Ocala, one in Seattle. I'm not sure who Sean Jessica is, and I'm not sure I guess somebody's taking notes as well. And then Elizabeth is an EXP agent out of the Fort Lauderdale area who knows Ed Aquino, and she's transplanted from New Jersey recently. So this is the crew today. We're just talking a little bit of agent attraction, asking if anybody has any other questions about things things you can talk about to agents. And the purpose of this call, just so everybody knows, and everybody does know, it's to talk about ways that we can talk about our brokerage that just basically when casual conversation happens, or you're talking to somebody out and about, or you're at a conference, or you want to set up quarterly or monthly events, and you want to have something to have other agents come to. One of the things that we utilize a lot is the Club Wealth platform, because Club Wealth is something that Jeff subscribes to on a monthly basis, and agents in our group have access to that. So we do invite agents to some of our regional events. Right now, there's events in Kansas City, Topeka, Kansas, and Kansas City this week, or Oklahoma City, Kansas City, and Topeka. I think next week they're in California, aren't they, Jeff? Don't you guys have some?
He's muted.
Yeah, I think he knows, but I thought he knew. You're muted, Jeff.
Oops, sorry. Where do you go for the schedule? I should know since I'm the subscriber, right? Or the member.
Oh, I go to my newsletter.
But I'm just, I didn't know there was one in California. I hope not, because I obviously enjoy going to those.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. But is there anything you want to add to the group today, Jeff? Since we have you on, we often get to see you.
I mean,
so.
really, one of the biggest things for me, and that I see with a lot of people, even my frontline agents, people that I've personally attracted to EXP, they're not doing a lot of attraction because I think they feel like they have to do all the work or the heavy lifting. And I just want to say that, you know, anytime you have anybody that shows any interest in EXP, and when I say any interest, meaning they're willing to sit down with somebody for, you know, a half an hour on a Zoom or in person, you know, just set that call up with me, with Eric, with Larry White, with anybody. Don't ever try to do it by yourself. We're always here to help you. And the power of three and a three-way call or a meeting is so powerful. I personally, you know, I've got 306 people in my group now, right? 34 in my front line. And I say that to tell you, most of those people I did not do alone. There were a few that I did alone because they were friends, right? But most of them it was done with the help of somebody else in our organization. And sometimes it's somebody outside of our organization, right? Somebody that's with EXP, but not even in my organization. Because what I do personally, my success has been to match them up with someone with a like personality. If you've got someone that's a D, you know, match them up with someone that's a D, a C, match them up with someone that's a C. And, you know, if it's a person that runs a team of 10, try to find a person that runs a team of 10 or more thereabouts, right? So I just want to say that that's what's going to make it easiest for you attracting agents is if you follow those simple processes. Don't go at it on don't go at it on your own, and don't try and explain EXP on your own. I mean, unless you're really good at it, know EXP soup to nuts, and it's a friend, maybe that's the only time I would ever do that. But even me, after 6 years next month here at EXP, I always lean on somebody else to help because that is a way higher percentage of being able to bring them over. And it's not, you never think of it as selling anybody something. Everybody that I brought to EXP thanks me every time they see me. Jeff, thank you so much for bringing me here. You know, you've helped me and my family, and it's such a great feeling to know that. So we're not selling anything. We're just, you know, we're just sharing the opportunity with them. And once they see that, most people are gonna just say, sign me up.
Absolutely. I think that's the easiest way to look at it is we're not selling, we're just
Tell them.
inviting. I tell people, hey, you know, I'm gonna give you an invitation to talk more about what we do. It's not a mandate. You don't have to do anything, but you know, if I would be amiss if I did not at least introduce you to this and make an introduction to what we've been doing for the last 2 years. And I've only been with 3 brokerages my career, and I've only been a real estate agent for 8 years, a broker for 5. And so I'm newer to the game, but I see the stark contrast. And what really got me years ago when I was in a brokerage, I went to the manager and said, "Hey, wouldn't it be great if we had this system where we're like generating leads and we're filtering, we're sending them to our agents and doing all this technology stuff?" And she just looked at me and said, "We could never do that." And it's like, as soon as she said that, it's like, I'm leaving. It's like, you know, I'm not going to stick around with a brokerage that is not forward thinking, that is not tech savvy. And this was in 2018. So tech was just starting to really, I mean, we had internet, we had IDX, we had a lot of things going with brokerages, but we didn't really have the squeeze pages or the CRMs like we do today. I mean, I was using a Google spreadsheet. That was the best I could find. But we started having things start to emerge. You know, Google was doing a lot of stuff, and we were starting to see things would come up. You know, if you guys ever get like go on Google or go on Facebook and you like you're looking for a lawnmower, and all of a sudden you start seeing lawnmowers on everywhere. It's because of the technology, and that's something that we were starting to tap into at the time. But the technology is only going to evolve and get better as time goes on. And the virtual brokerage model is really, for me, it's a good model because I can work from home, I can do my thing, or if I want to go to an office, I can. And we all have that ability. So Sean, Jeff, I did send you the schedule. There's 2. They're in the LA area, Glendale
Glendale,
and Marietta.
Marietta. Okay.
Glendora and Marietta.
Glendora, okay.
Yeah, May 21st and May 22nd.
Sweet. You know, and by the way, we're on a traction call, so I'd be amiss if I didn't mention this. Part of the reason why I go to those, I love Club Wealth, and I always get a nugget, and especially when it's Michael Hellickson in person, which this is. But the other thing is, when I'm there, I meet other, and by the way, you don't go there to attract or recruit, but you go there, you meet agents, you know, you get their business card, you meet up with them later for coffee or, you know, a Zoom and have a chat with them you know, just talk about your business and, you know, hey, how's your business? And inevitably they're going to ask you, how do you like EXP if they're not already there? And that's your opportunity to get them on that three-way call and talk to them about EXP. So I don't go there to, sorry, excuse me. I don't go there to recruit, but I do go there, I get business cards and I follow up with those agents that are there. And it's a great way, not just Club Wealth, but anything like that, where you're doing a face-to-face and you meet somebody. For me, because Michael Hellickson knows me, it's nice because he mentions my name a lot in there, or even if it's not someone you know, like me and Michael, you know, if you're vocal, you ask a lot of good questions, people are going to, you know, see the value you're bringing to the conversation. So again, those are the things that I feel are going to be great for you guys in attracting other agents to your organization here.
Yeah, and with that being said, I see Sean's on the call. Sean, you definitely want to take a look at these couple events. If you know agents that could attend those, they're just good. I mean, Club Wealth is just it's just good information. You know, it's a 2.5 or it's a 3.5 hour seminar that's live, that's usually run by Michael, and these agents will come out of there with 5, 10, 15 nuggets of information. If they apply just one thing that they learn, that agent will get to the next level. And this is like a gift that you could give to them to say, hey, look, you know, I've been thinking about you. You know, why don't you go to this Moretta event with me? I think it'd be great. We could have lunch afterwards and just chit chat. You know, invite 5 of your agents from your Old Century 21 office. And there's 2, May 21st, May 22nd. So if they can't make one, they can make the other. And I'd go to both, and they're free. Typically, they charge $200 for these events, but they're free. And I will get you the code from Jeff. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if you need the code right now. I think that if you click on the
You
Yeah.
should need it. You should need it because Michael charges 200. I think it's $200 for it for some. But and I forgot, Eric. Thank you for mentioning that. You invite as many agents that you know to go with you or to meet you there, because that's a huge opportunity for you, because you're coming from a place of contribution. They come there, they get all these nuggets, like, wow, that was great, Sean, or whoever invited them, and then you know, you talk to them about, hey, well, you know, you can get access to Club Wealth at no cost, you know, in our organization, you know. But yeah, there's a discount code, and that's the code you want to share with the people you're inviting, and obviously for yourself. But yeah, don't go alone. At least invite 1 or 2 people to join you.
Hey, Jeff and Eric, I'm sorry because I joined personally. My assistant has joined to take notes that I have a blue screen problem, error code on my thing. So
Oh no.
I think I fixed it. So I just heard at the end is May 21st and 22nd in Glendora. For what event is it?
That's for the Club Wealth event, and I will send you an email about that, Jeff, so that you have everything you need for that particular event. You'll have the codes, you'll have the locations, how to invite agents. I have an email that I send out to our group whenever these things occur, and you still have a couple weeks to. Well, actually, you don't. It's next week, so I'll get that out to you today, and you can invite some of the people that you know to go to those events. There's one in Moretta and one in Glendora. Am I saying those names right? I don't even know if I am.
Marietta, so Inland Empire, and Glendora, which is, you know, San Gabriel Valley. Glendora would be the closest one to you, Sean. But honestly,
Yes.
go to both.
It's just my neighboring city. Yes.
Yeah, if you could go to both, if you can go to the Marietta one, you know, invite some agents that are from the Marietta or Inland Empire area and meet them there. Because I'm telling you, it's a great event, and it's a great opportunity for you to, you know, come from a place of contribution to give those agents that you invite something really good to attend at no cost, and then that opens the door for you to talk to them about our group.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do know some agent in Marietta and Temecula.
And
Yeah,
don't
'cause
be surprised if you see me at both of them, and Kelly.
Weren't you asking me about the one in Kansas or Were you asking me about that, Sean?
Yeah,
Kansas?
yes, I'm the one asking the Kansas, yes.
Okay, because I already sent you that. I'm gonna send you,
Yes,
the
yes,
email I'm gonna
I
send
will
you
be
is
in touch
identical.
with that agent, okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, invite them. That's the other thing too, is if you know somebody in other areas, maybe you can't attend, but maybe they can attend. I do this a lot for agents in my organization that I've had conversations with, and we want to invite them to these events. So they're all over the country. There's gonna be a bunch in Georgia, they're on the East Coast, but they're in the newsletter, so just read the newsletter. I guess that's my point. And if you want to do the newsletter quiz, I mentioned this yesterday. I have a quiz in the newsletter. I'm giving away a $20 Starbucks card. So if you
That's
do
a
the
great idea.
quiz, yeah, and the quiz is going to test your knowledge of the newsletter. So if that's all it is, it's pretty simple. Anybody on this call, Angela, Ed, Sean, anybody who gets our newsletter, make sure you do that. So, well, last chance for any questions. Angela, any questions? I saw you jumped on a little bit late, but any questions up there in Washington State?
No, I think, I'm getting the gist of, the approach, and, I did, also, speak to a few more agents this week, hoping to get together at 5 Star, but continuing conversations until then. So we'll see how we go from there.
Yeah, and 5 Star is going to be a phenomenal opportunity for us to introduce each other to each other. So if you have agents that are going, make sure that you find me. I'm going to have a schedule of when we can have conversations, but it's only going to be like mornings. Like I'll only have like mornings, I'll have a schedule, but in the afternoons is when I'm hoping for like impromptu meetings and, hey, this is my friend from blah, 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 and I want to introduce you to them and we can have a conversation and, we can just keep the ball rolling. But that is still 5 months from now. So there's a lot of time in between now and 5 Star where we can keep some productive conversations going. So again, just take Jeff's approach. Just invite them to look at the opportunity that we might have, and if it makes sense for them, great. If not, they're missing something. That's all I can say. And eventually they'll figure it out. And but we're not going to push anybody to do anything that is not in their best interests. It has to be a win-win for everybody coming on board, with the win on their side being greater than the win on our side. So we have to always be delivering more in value than what we're accepting in exchange. And that's just the way it works in the world. If you're a real estate agent, you definitely know that.
And don't go at it alone. Three-way call.
Yeah, there's no reason to. I mean, everybody on this call has a sponsor that they can tap into. And if their sponsor is not able to, there's somebody in the organization above that sponsor that can. So everybody, most of the people on this call are on their sponsor or in that line. Elizabeth, you're the only one that is not, but I'm sure you have a great sponsor. So if you have, questions where, you want to bring people, into the organization, tap into Ed or your sponsor, and they'll definitely help you out. But well, thanks for the call. Thanks for coming on today, everyone. We'll do this again next Tuesday, and then we're going to take a break for a week. I'll be on vacation, but I'll put that in the newsletter about when I'm going to be gone. Again, if you guys have any questions, call, email, text me. Sean, I'll get that information over to you about the California events. I'll also include Terry and Sasha on those emails so that you guys all have the opportunity to bring people there. And again, remember, Sean, with RevShare 2.0, putting people under Terry and Sasha gets you RevShare immediately. So that's an approach to think about while you start to build your little team there in West Covina, which we hope to get that built up, even more in the near future and beyond. So, all right. Thanks for coming on, guys. I taped it. I'll put the recording on our.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week.
Okay, we'll see you later. Bye.